And so what we're doing with Rise and what we're doing with UnBox is not necessarily being just an e-commerce company. Hitesh says he's back, so I wanted to talk about this. But it's not all about just the activity in one vertical. It's all about economic activity. And I'll let him say it. So Hitesh, if you can talk, hop on in, because you'll do it better justice than I will, obviously, in my opinion. But it's all about that economic activity and what is happening, right, in multiple verticals, and you guys being able to earn from that and having a home and a hub and a place where you can make that happen, even if you're brand new and you've never done any of this stuff before, or if you've tried and you failed a bunch of times, right? That's okay too. So we have to change the conversation. We have to change how we present this. So Hitesh, if you're on, let me, yeah,
hey everybody, I am on indeed. And
guys,
there is actually a lot that I want to go over, and I'd actually like to build up on what Kevin was just talking about. Although, like Kevin said, my style is a little bit different, and what I'm going for is a little different. In fact, I'll put my screen share on, and I'll kind of walk you guys through a couple of things. But there's a core principle, and this is not a moral statement that I'm about to make. Okay, this is not a statement rooted in morality, but Kevin's style is all about being family, right? And my style is being polite acquaintances. Okay, let's say that. But here is a saying that I want you to understand from it. It's better to have rich friends than poor family, okay? Now, I'm not saying it's a moral statement or it's a great statement, but my point is my goal on these webinars is that at the end of the webinar, you should be closer to making money rather than you feeling closer to me, okay? You may not be my best friends and think I'm your brother or sister, which if you do, you probably need help, because you can probably tell by my accent, we are very, very distantly related, if anything. But my aim is at the end of the webinar, you should be closer to understanding what you need to do next to make money. Okay, that's what we are here for. And Kevin is here to help you make that a reality. Okay, he's there to help you in the right way, to encourage you to make that happen. And my goal is to get that information to you. So I'm going to put my screen share on. I'm going to break down a couple of things for you guys. And this is what you will be able to communicate going forward as well. Okay. So Kevin, if that's okay, I will grab the screen quickly.
Go for it, buddy.
And I'm going to begin with this graph. And I caught the tail end of what Kevin was just describing. There is this idea about 9 to 5 and then retiring and so on. That's actually built around this same graphic. Now, this is the graphic that applies to almost everybody's life. You spend most of your time on what we call active income. Okay, you put effort in, we call that a job, and you get paid for it. And as time goes on, if you have a 401k, you have some investments, you have pensions, you have all sorts of different things, all of them are trying to create the scenario where there comes a moment in time, it's usually right here, where you retire, where your passive income overtakes your active income. That's what all these different systems that are designed in the world are trying to achieve, okay? And that's what you should be trying to achieve in your life as well. The problem is that almost every single MLM out there, business opportunity out there, they ignore this critical factor. What they do is they sell you on claims of passive income all the time, and then they dump you into a scenario where all you have to do is work actively to try and recruit people all the time, okay? And that's a huge problem. That's not how real businesses are built. Okay, that's not how a legacy income is built. Now, weirdly enough, there is a second graph that looks very, very similar, which applies to marketing campaigns. Okay, and that's this one right here. And I've done this one before for all of you. You have your warm market, and then you have a cold market. Warm market is people who are on your list, people who are on your Facebook, people that you can communicate with whenever you want. And cold market is people that you don't know at all. And weirdly enough, if you're running a successful business, this is exactly what your business over time looks like. If you look at, for example, RiseNetwork, we sent an email to our list, yesterday, day before yesterday, and we have, about 1,000 people coming in already, right? That's because we have a warm market. That's big. But as time goes on, majority of the people inside RiseNetwork will not be our warm market. They will be people in the cold market. Okay, that's how successful businesses work. Now, this is what you have to keep in mind. You have to find a way, a real business, a proper business, combines active income through the warm market with passive income through the cold market. And this is so missed by almost every single business model out there. And in fact, we have tried to do this for many years ourselves, okay? And we have come close, we've come quite close, but we have never been fully able to achieve it for one simple reason. You cannot achieve this with a single platform. You have to have two very distinct approaches to make it happen, okay? And that's why the system that you have with RiseNetwork now is so unique, because you're going to be doing two things. For most of you, there'll be an active income component in your business, which will make you money immediately. Okay, in some cases, in as little as 15 minutes. Okay, and I'm sure that sounds pretty exciting, right? Is there ever a company that you have joined and you can say in 15 minutes, I was able to make some money? That'll be something we'll be able to do here. Okay, but then there's a second component, which is building a passive income over time. And ideally, if you guys can achieve this chart in the next 12 months, you will be in the top 1% of business owners in the world. Okay, so let that sink in for a moment. Really, really understand what I'm saying there. If you can achieve this specific graph in the next 12 months, you're in the top 1% of business owners in the world, because you would have transitioned your income successfully from purely active activities into a passive nature. Okay, so how will we do that? How will we achieve that? And why am I talking about this right now? Okay, so we will achieve that through a combination of two distinct portions. You have your UnBox business, which you're going to be building, and we're going to teach you all about it, but we don't own that. That's not our company. And then we have the RiseNetwork, which is what we own, what we built, that we're going to teach you in. And these are both going to work together for you. You're going to build an active income using UnBox, and you're going to build a passive income using RiseNetwork. Here's how it's going to work. Inside UnBox, you have multiple verticals where you will be able to give stuff away to make profits. Okay, now why is that so critical? It's critical because most people are really, really bad at actively selling. Okay, who here thinks that they're a really good salesperson or even wants to be a good salesperson? Is there anyone on this call right now who says, I love being a salesperson and I want to be a salesperson for the rest of my life? Pretty much no one, right? Nobody wants to be that. Nobody endeavors to be that. And no good salesperson considers themselves a salesperson, right? That's all it is. So this active portion cannot be selling. You cannot have your active income dependent on selling because most people are bad at it. So your active component here is actually going to be giving things away. That's what we're going to do. So you're going to give things away in many, many different industries, including giving away gift cards for products. You will have services that you'll be able to give away, like payment processing for businesses local to you. We will go through all of these, by the way. Okay, don't worry about it. We're not going to just leave it there. We're going to go through examples of them so you understand it. You have legal and tort services. So you can, for example, just imagine this. You make a post on Facebook, if not on Facebook, whatever social media you use. If you don't use social media, then just your social network that you might have. You make a post, you message somebody and you say, hey, if anybody has gotten injured recently, if anybody has gotten an X-ray with contrast recently, if anybody has gotten this in the last 5 years, here is a place where they are offering free consultation, or not free consultation, they're offering consultations for legal services for you guys because you might be owed a settlement for a few $100,000. If you use Roundup, for example, you might be owed a settlement. It costs $40 for this legal consultation, but if this is you, I'll pay your way in. As your friend or as your family member, I'll pay your way in. Right? That's much easier to do than to try and go out there and sell people on going to an attorney. Okay, everybody's going to hate you if you try to sell them on attorney service. But if you say, I'm going to pay your way in because you might be owed a settlement, that's a completely different, idea for them. And I'm going to say this now, and some of you might lose your mind about it, but you can also do this stuff in the healthcare space. And some of you might know what I'm referring to. You can offer things to people. This is why I was on the call, by the way, guys. You will be able to offer things to people like saying, hey, Aunt May, I don't know why I think Aunt May, probably from Spider-Man or something, but hey, you had cancer. I want to make sure that you are properly screened against, you don't have an issue. It usually costs $50 for this test, but I'm going to pay your way in. And then somebody comes up from Quest and does a swab and does a test for her, completely zero cost to her. You didn't sell her anything at all, and yet you get paid for it. Okay? Can you guys imagine how that's a completely different business model than anything else out there? Do you recognize very quickly that this is a dramatically different way for you to be profitable? And in an active sense, this is something you can do. And if you can do this, then you can start being profitable. Okay, and that's all we're doing. Active income's purpose is not for you to make $1 million. Active income's purpose is for you to make a profit. Okay, that's all we're doing. We're making a profit. So this is what we're going to constantly use to make a profit. And this applies to 95% of the people out there. 95% of the people out there do have some small market. They do have some warm market they can work with. And they do want to make some profits. They want to make an extra $200 a month. And that alone is a big win for most of the people out there. Okay. Now, how do we transition from here into building a passive income as well? And especially for those of you, because I know for a fact, there's always somebody on a webinar like this that says, I don't have a warm market. What do I do? Right. And you're talking to a person who can actually genuinely say that. I have no family in the US. I came here as a teenager and English is not my first language and so on. So I totally get what you're saying. Okay. That's why the second component is so important. Because what did we already discuss? We've already established that most of the people are bad at selling and they don't want to sell, right? And if you're going to be so bad at selling that you cannot make an active income by selling, you sure as heck cannot make an active income. You cannot make a passive income by selling, right? If you're going to be bad at selling actively, you're going to be even worse selling passively. So you do not sell. That's the solution. That's where RiseNetwork kicks in. So here's what RiseNetwork does for you instead. That's why we give this system to all of our UnBox members at no cost. Our aim is that you come in and all you will do is use the inner circle training to drive traffic to your RiseNetwork link. And it's going to be almost entirely cold market. It's all going to be almost entirely cold traffic. You're not relying on the warm market whatsoever, and you're not selling to them yourself. You don't even care if they know you. They're going to come into this link, and two things are going to happen. They're going to end up in your RiseNetwork team, and they're going to end up in your UnBox team. And for those of them who are at least barely motivated, are going to use the active opportunities inside of UnBox to start making money immediately, right? They will come in and 15, 20, 30 minutes later even, they can make some money, all right? And then what do? They take some of that money and they use it the way RiseNetwork Inner Circle teaches you to drive that traffic to their RiseNetwork link. And this creates this massive cycle that keeps going and going. Majority of your income, vast majority of your income is actually going to come from this combined system, from the passive side, because every single individual who is in your UnBox team, when they give away a gift card for a CBD product, when they go ahead and do something in payment processing, when they give away a gift card for travel, for example, when they refer somebody to healthcare, any of those things, when things like that happen, you get paid on it. You didn't do it yourself. You're not actively doing anything there, but you're getting paid on it. That's the power of the passive side. And you literally cannot have a single platform that does all of these things together. That's why you have to have both of these things happening simultaneously. And there has never been a system that's existed like this, except for one that we built in the past. Now, the one that we built in the past did something very, very similar. Okay. You basically had people who joined our company. Okay. They would join our company. And then they did two things. They built an e-commerce business. Selling on Amazon, eBay, and so on. And some of them promoted their DST or Infinia link, and they built a team there. Okay. Now here's what happened in this system. In this system, Amazon and eBay made $4 billion. Okay. And our DST Infinia team people made about $31 million. I want you to see the problem here. The problem is that nobody benefited from this in a passive sense. And that's what has dramatically changed here. When $4 billion worth, and I'm honestly downplaying it because that's just e-commerce, $4 billion. We are talking about industries here, for example, travel and healthcare and so on, that by themselves are multi-trillion-dollar industries, right? So you have all these different industries on this side, and anytime there is any volume produced, any economic activity that happens here, it benefits you in a passive sense. So now the $4 billion that earlier went to Amazon and eBay is actually coming back to all the people who are inside RiseNetwork that are using this system. So it's a completely different play on things. Now, all that economic activity that was earlier going to these giant corporations and just sitting there is now coming back to us through the way UnBox is set up, because UnBox is designed for social e-commerce. That's what it's built for. And we are really kind of taking advantage of it. We're kind of exploiting what this structure is built for. And we are combining that with our ability to produce cold traffic and really just leveraging that for ourselves. Does this make sense? You guys will do just two things as time goes on. You will have your monthly, or let's call it weekly, active tasks, which is going to be as simple as logging into your back office. Okay, let's actually take an example. It will be logging into your back office. This is what your back office is going to look like. It's going to look much prettier because this is a demo account that I've been given access to. But you will literally log in and you will say, hey, today I want to give away some travel. Today I want to give away some healthcare. Today I want to give away some essential oils. Today I want to give away some CBD products, whatever it is. And you say, you know what? It's my aunt's birthday. You could literally do this. You could actually give these gift cards away on different occasions to people if you want. But you would say, hey, congrats. Here's a $10 gift card for Aunt May's birthday. All right. That's it. This is your active task. This is all that your active task is comprised of. She's going to go to the site. She's going to use this gift card. She's going to say thanks to you. And you just made money. Okay, you just made 20% of her total order because she used this gift card. Okay, that's your active task. Have you guys ever seen an easier active task than this? In any business, in any kind of a process that you've ever done, this is the easiest thing you will ever do in an active sense. That's all you're going to do. That's your active responsibility. That's what you're going to do on a weekly basis. And a couple other things too. You can also, by the way, produce gift cards and pay people's way into UnBox. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But that's it. That's your active task. You're done with that. After that, you're going to get on the call with Kevin and me, and with Kevin on Tuesdays for the Tactic Tuesdays in the inner circle. You're going to take some of the money that you're making from these active tasks, and you're going to put that towards cold market traffic. And you're going to drive all of that to just one single link. You don't need to worry about all these industries. You don't need to figure this out. You don't need to teach anybody about it. You don't want to explain any of this to them. Because we have already established most of us are bad at selling. Okay, people like Kevin are good at selling. So we're going to let them do that. You're going to drive that traffic to your RiseNetwork link, where they're going to be shown a video that summarizes all of this, that says, we're going to show you a business model at no cost where you can be profitable in the next 30 minutes. And it's not going to cost you a penny. Are you excited about that? Yes, everybody is. They're going to join your RiseNetwork team immediately. They'll create an account. They will receive a video course at no cost to them that will teach them how to create their UnBox account and how to print gift cards like I just showed you and be profitable in the next few minutes. A large number of people will create that account. The moment they create that account, you get paid. A portion of those people who just create their account are going to produce a gift card and put that out there. The moment they do that, you get paid. Some of them are going to say, oh, you know what? Actually, my brother had cancer. I should reach out to him about healthcare stuff. They can reach out to them. You just get paid. Somebody else is going to say, you know what? My cousin worked in a factory and he got hurt while working there. Let me send him to the legal side for personal injury. Again, you just got paid. Do you guys see how this completely changes the business model for you? You are no longer forcing people to join a company. You're not teaching people how to join a company. You're not pitching them a company. You're not showing them a compensation plan. You are not doing anything. You are simply driving traffic to your RiseNetwork link. End of story. If you never talk to a single person ever again, And all you do is drive traffic to this one link. And we will literally show you how to drive the traffic each time. You're going to get the ad copy to use. You're going to get the specific methods to use. We're going to teach you how to do it. In fact, in some cases, it'll be as simple as just spending some money on an ad, and you'll have people showing up in your RiseNetwork team. You're getting paid. Now, some of these people, okay, a portion of these people will be real go-getters. They'll say, I want to go even beyond this, okay? I want to make a lot of money. I really like what I'm seeing here. I'm already profitable. I want to do more. In that scenario, they might say that I want to learn more. They will join the inner circle. They might purchase some additional training. And when they do that, when they do any of those things, again, you get paid. Keep in mind, in this entire process, you're not being asked to talk with people. You are just letting the system do your job. Okay, does that sound exciting? Does that kind of make sense to everybody? And you guys understand why we have been as excited about this whole process as we have been? Okay, perfect. Now, why is this so important for you to understand? And why is pre-launch so important for you to understand? Now, pre-launches of a company are the only time, it's a very unique time, it's the only time that you can actually do the passive income portion before you ever do the active income portion. Okay, I'll give you a simple example. By the time the company's out of pre-launch, we will probably have, UnBox is out of pre-launch, we'll probably have 1,000 to 2,000 people in UnBox on our link. Okay, and that's without using any cold traffic so far. Okay, when we have that many people on there, from day one, we're going to have a bigger passive income than most people's active income is. Right? Do you guys see what we're getting at? Because we have done the hard work of building a warm market already in the past, the day this platform goes live, we will have a bigger income, a bigger passive income than most people have as an active income in their entire year. This is why pre-launches are so important. This is why you have to really take a hold of the time right now, and why you have to do the exact same thing that we just described. You need to get as many people as possible to your RiseNetwork link. And when you do so, you are pre-building your passive income right now, because those people are going to end up in your UnBox team, and they're going to end up in your RiseNetwork team, and you're making money across all these different things at the same time. Okay. Now, some of you are going to be very excited about payment processing side. Some of you are going to be very excited about the healthcare side. Some of you will be excited about the e-commerce side. Some of you will be excited about the legal side maybe. Okay, that's because all of you are different, right? All of you have a specific bend in your mind. You're attracted towards one thing, but don't make the mistake of thinking that everybody else is excited about that same thing as well, right? What everybody is excited about is one singular thing. And this is after a lot of focus group level testing. Everybody likes the concept of, I can give something away, I can genuinely help people, and I can make money doing it. I can be profitable in the next 30 minutes, 40 minutes without spending any money at all. That's an exciting concept, right? So don't try to push on people what they should be doing. Leave that to the RiseNetwork system, because inside RiseNetwork, we actually will walk people through all the different verticals and which ones they can make the most money with the fastest right now. And we'll help them with all of it. One of the other fun things that we do inside RiseNetwork for people when they come to UnBox, when they want to join UnBox, is we tell them, look, if you're an action taker, we teach them about the UnBox platform. And then if you're an action taker, click this button, you have 30 minutes. In the next 30 minutes, you can use this special gift card that we're issuing to you, and it will remove your setup fees. You will not have to pay $100 if you use this code right now. What do you think that does for you? That suddenly causes all these people to join UnBox, and you don't cover that $100 cost. We cover that $100 cost on your behalf, okay? So UnBox, as you know, the platform is going to cost $99 one time, plus $39 a month, or $99 a month. Those are the two levels. We will actually eliminate this cost for people who take action quickly, which means your UnBox team grows faster. And what is the first thing that they say to you when that happens? They're going to send you a message, and they're going to say, hey, Norman, or Debbie, or Karen, or whoever, I really appreciate you paying my way in. And that's the exact thing. The moment they do that, guess what just happened? They've already experienced how easy it is to give stuff away. And so they act on that very, very quickly. And they're going to log in here. They're going to produce their gift card. They're going to set the validity date, and they will give this gift card away. And they will repeat that process over and over in all these different industries. They will use that in these multiple business centers, which you can see all the ones that are here. They're going to be even more coming in here as time goes on. But you guys don't need to think about it or worry about it or teach all of it. There is a lot back here. It's like if somebody came to you today and said, explain to me what Amazon does. How many of you could successfully explain everything that Amazon does? You couldn't. Almost nobody could. You would have to be able to really drill down and focus on one thing at a time because there's so many things they do. It's the same thing with UnBox as a platform. There are too many things going on here. You shouldn't be worried about teaching everything about it. All you should be doing is driving traffic to your one RiseNetwork link and let everything else kind of happen as a result of it. We created literally hundreds of thousands of absolute experts on Amazon, eBay, and so on through our previous network. And what we are basically doing this time around is saying, you know what, instead of charging people to join our team, instead of asking people to join our team and pay us money to learn how to build with it, we will do something different. We will give them the whole system at no cost, right? That's why RiseNetwork doesn't cost you anything to join. We will give that to you at no cost. We will teach you how to use UnBox at no cost. And then we will only charge for the advanced training to help you grow your business to the next level. Because guess what we want to do? We want you to focus on your active tasks. We want everybody in our teams to focus on the active tasks. You want your downline to focus on the active tasks on a weekly basis because you want them to produce some economic activity because you get paid on that. And you just keep repeating that cycle over and over. Okay? So while this might have been a very educational webinar, at the same time, what I wanted to walk away from this webinar with is this is the only thing you need to focus on. This is all you have to do. Everything else has already been done for you by us. Every week, get on the Inner Circle webinar, and we're going to give you the ads. We're going to give you the system. We're going to teach you what the next steps should be, and you're just going to do that every single time. In between all of that, you're going to take 30 minutes a week, literally, and you're going to do your active tasks. And it'll do both the things for you. It'll give you the active income. It'll keep you profitable. And it'll give you the passive income that will start growing over time. Okay. Now let's address the final question mathematically. What does that mean? What does it mean that my passive income will grow? What level will it grow to if I actually execute on this? Okay. So we have a very, very simple model that we designed around this. The model is like this. You're going to do 5 active actions per month. Okay. Essentially, 3 people must join your UnBox team in a month. Okay. And the other 5 actions are you're giving away gift cards for different things, for payment processing, for healthcare, for travel, whatever it is. You do that. That's whatever you're interested in. Okay. There's no rule about that. But we're going to have 3 people get their way paid in to UnBox from Rise every month. That's all you have to achieve. Now, how many of you, with this system working on your behalf, how many of you think that you could get 1 person every 10 days to create a free account on Rise? That's the goal. How many of you think that you could get one person every 10 days to create a free account on Rise to follow through? And if you can't, can you at least get in the inner circle, get on the webinar with Kevin, and we will give you the stuff that you need. Okay. That's all. If you do that, if you get 1 person to join your UnBox team every 10 days, the way the economic activity grows on this, if they follow the same process, at about month 7 to 8, in that range, you will have a 6-figure per year income. That's how the math works on this. And do you see why this is so much more powerful? Why the passive income nature of this is so much more powerful than going out there and trying to make 80,000 sales on eBay every single week, or trying to make $100,000 on Amazon sales every week, because that's actually how you end up making a $10,000 profit, maybe. Okay, that's the difference here. With this new model in the e-commerce side, with this social e-commerce model, and by combining the 2 sides together, what would usually cause you to generate $100,000 worth of sales every single month yourself, you can achieve by literally just giving out 5 gift cards every month and having 3 of those people joining your UnBox team. That is all. So at this point, does anybody think that this is a business model that is more difficult than anything else you've seen out there? Or do you all think this is easier than anything else that you've seen so far? Exactly. This is, honestly, guys, I will tell you this very honestly, internally, because it takes a lot of effort to build out something like RiseNetwork. Okay. Kevin and I have spent many, many nights going over all the stuff. We've had Jason working night and day to get everything set up in the background. And we've been kind of skeptical. Okay. We've had many days when we've had conversations like, we are doing all the stuff. Will UnBox be as awesome as we think it is? And it's honestly turning out to be even better than we thought. It's turning out to be an amazing, amazing platform right now. And it's going to just keep getting better as time goes on. All you guys need to do for you, everything has been simplified to the point that you just send traffic to one link. And we will literally get on the webinars with you and show you how to get that traffic as well. The only condition, the only thing I ask is that if you guys have any questions about this, if you're not an Inner Circle member right now, that's the only thing you should be activating at the moment. There are no other costs involved. This is not like a typical MLM company. You don't need to go out and buy $500 worth of a starter pack nonsense and store stuff in your garage and go to your neighbors and have them buy, your silverware or something from you. It's nothing like that. But you do need to at least put in the effort and the time to make sure that you're just following this process, just following this simple action step. Now, even having simplified all of it to this point, I know already that roughly 30-40% of the people on the webinar just won't do it. That's just how things work. Okay, and that's fine. But for the other 50, 60, 70% of the people who will do it, we will go out of our way to make sure that you're very, very successful. Okay, so if you're not in a circle right now, that's what you should be joining. You should not be looking at anything else. You should not be worrying about any of the costs right now. That's all you should be doing. And keep in mind that already when you join UnBox, if you already have your pre-launch account in place, which all of you do, when it goes live, this $99 one-time fee that you will have there, we will remove this for you. Okay, we will actually pay this on your behalf. So we will already pay $100 on your behalf. Take that saving and use that to actually start building your passive business side right now. Okay. Hopefully this summarizes everything. Hopefully all of this makes sense and you guys have some very clear homework to do from this point onwards. Now, there are some questions that I'm sure the people have. There's some questions that we've already seen coming up in the Facebook side of things as well. Kevin, do you want me to go over some of those specific questions or do you want to chime in a little bit? And then I have one final thought before we close out.
No, I would like to go over to it. What I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to turn this into a link that you guys can share because I think this is one of the most powerful kind of explanations that we've done so far on what is actually happening here. And for those of you who have been with us from the up group side of the house and the CFN, you know what I'm talking about. Hitesh name dropped something, and I was shocked to hear it come out of your mouth. Quest and that partnership.
Yes, I did mention that, but let's not go into any more detail there.
Okay.
We will leave it at that. The point, guys, is that this is a constantly evolving thing, right? As time goes on, there will be more and more things constantly being added into UnBox. And if you have a big organization there, if you have a big team built there, you don't have to know about those verticals. You don't have to get involved in them. You don't have to educate yourself on them because there are people who are naturally interested in it. If we have 1,000 people in UnBox in our team, I guarantee there'll be 100 of them that are already connected into the legal side or the health side or the payment. They'll have an interest already picked out in their mind. And it's much easier to just let people be active in what they're passionate about rather than trying to force them to be passionate and be active in something else. Just let them do their thing. This is just like the economy as a whole, right? Just let people be, let people do their thing, let people build their own businesses, and you will see a lot better economic activity than trying to force them in one direction. So that's all you have to focus on. Don't try to make this about one thing. That's actually one of the hard lessons for us, right? Because we come from an e-commerce background. We made a lot of money with e-commerce. We taught a lot of people how to make a lot of money with e-commerce. So we are like tempted to always talk about e-commerce. And yet when I talk with the people from UnBox, they always say the same thing. They always say, but the margins are so slim on e-commerce. It's a thing that is a decade behind. Okay, it was something that was exciting in 2010. It's not going to be the most exciting thing in 2020. The more exciting thing in 2020 is how is e-commerce going to affect all the industries that have so far not been affected by it? How does it affect the legal stuff? How does it affect payment processing? How does it affect healthcare? How does it affect travel? And we get to be at the forefront of it. We get to make a lot of profits from it without doing much in it. Okay, that's the key part. There's a thing that I think maybe Kevin already talked about, but we do this inside the training videos that we give inside Rise. It's a very simple question. If you had the option, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the manufacturer whose products are sold on Amazon? Do you want to be the guy who works in Amazon? Do you want to be the seller who lists products on Amazon? Or do you want to be Jeff Bezos? Which of the four would you rather be? It's not a trick question, by the way. You guys can answer. Yeah, the answer is that everybody wants to be Bezos. You know why? Because he doesn't care. He doesn't have to go down and figure out which product is selling, why it's selling, who is selling it. He gets to benefit from all that economic activity that is happening in a platform that he owns, that he gets a payment from. And you are actually in that position with this whole setup. You get to benefit from all the economic activity that is happening in there, and you don't care about what that economic activity necessarily is. You are just happy that it's happening, and you get to collect on that, and you go your merry way. And you get to do this whole thing that the average person in the last generation took 72 years to achieve. Okay. And now we don't even know if it's going to happen in this generation for most people, right? Just because of the way things are going, especially if socialism comes in full bore, it may never happen for people. But the reality is, for you guys, you can actually achieve this in about 7 months, right? That's what the numbers come out to. In 7 to 8 months, you can actually achieve this, that we work our entire lives to be able to replicate. We can do this ourselves in the next 7 months without a big warm market. We're talking about 5 actions a month, and you can achieve this thing. Okay, so this is really why we are as excited as we are. We haven't built anything or promoted anything for years, because after doing such big volume in one business, we kind of were like, yeah, this is kind of dying out. What is the next big thing? How do we get a part of something that's big and coming up next? And honestly, we are one of the very privileged people that we ended up in a partnership with the guys who have built the UnBox platform. So we are super excited. We honestly think you're in a very, very unique position that you guys are able to build this passive group for yourself while you're still in the pre-launch phase. You guys need to go activate Inner Circle, get your traffic going right now. Don't wait for the platform to be live, because then you miss that opportunity where things are still passive, but you can still build a passive team right now. Now, there's a few times that I saw the question about what is the preferred partner program. I saw a bunch of people ask about that. I'm going to go through that really quickly. Kevin, unless you want me to cover something else first.
Definitely go through it. We've had a lot of people that are. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've applied for the partner program, real quick. Yeah. I keep getting side messages from you guys, so yeah. So we got a bunch of people who are in there. So if you could talk about it a little bit and kind of clarify what it's all about, it'd be great.
Absolutely. Okay. So let me open up a new window.
Yeah, and do you guys see the possibilities and what is happening here? Like it's kind of mind-boggling what can happen and the amount of income. This is why I keep saying that you guys can make more money in the tail end of 2018 or 2019, and then have 2020 be your by far the biggest year ever. Do you see how that is possible now with all the things that are happening on the back end? And all you have to do is drive traffic to one link. You got a rinse and repeatable business. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, good. I see you got it up.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk really quickly about what the preferred partner program is. Okay, now preferred partner program is actually offered by UnBox very similarly to how these kind of programs are offered by Amazon, eBay to some of the bigger sellers. Okay. The benefit that we have here is that they don't have a huge number of users yet, obviously, because they haven't gone live yet. And we basically have some level of leverage there, okay, because we are able to make recommendations for some things, and they know that we have users on our platforms from before who can drive a lot of volume. So they're looking for people who can drive a lot of volume for them. And in turn, they're willing to give up a lot of benefits, okay? One of the biggest benefits is that it eliminates all your monthly costs for the UnBox platform going forward. So if this is something that you intend on doing over time, if you intend on doing this something seriously over time, this will eliminate all your costs. You will never pay anything there. And in fact, they will give you thousands of dollars in those gift cards that you can go out and give away. Okay. So it's a complete no-brainer if this is something that fits for you. The key question is, will you actually qualify for it or not? Okay, and we can help you a little bit with that. We can't help you all the way, but we can kind of give you a nudge in the right direction if you follow some basic instructions. So first, let's look at what it really is very quickly. Just to let you guys know, there are some very specific people, and those people, you could call them also celebrities or big influencers, whatever, people like that, who this was originally designed for. The idea was that those people would be able to refer people in, they would be able to offer massive number of gift cards to their audience, and they would be able to drive, a few hundred to a few thousand users every time. Now, we will be able to replicate that same thing for you on the RiseNetwork side because we are training you on that, okay? So here is what you will need to do. You will see right here that you will get elite level access at no cost whatsoever. You will get $1,000 in bonus gift points immediately, and you will get 3,600 points annually. Okay, so you're basically going to get right around $5,000 worth the first year alone that you'll be able to just give away. Okay, that's stuff that you'll be able to give away. You'll be able to produce gift cards with those points. You have all the stuff in here, which is nice and fancy, but you see this part right here, the final portion, which is access to third-party sales funnels, tools, and training for team growth. Guess what that is? That is actually the inner circle. So if you become a preferred partner, you actually get zero cost on the UnBox platform side. But because of our relationship with them and because the deal that we have struck, that we will train all the preferred partners at no cost, you will also be able to get into the inner circle at no cost going forward. Okay. So preferred partner program costs a one-time $9.95 if you qualify. You have to fill out the application for it. And then if you qualify, they send you an invoice. Once you pay the invoice, you basically become elite level member inside UnBox, and you become an inner circle member inside RiseNetwork. Okay, so it's an amazing option for people who this fits. Let's walk through what it takes to actually apply and become approved for it. Okay, now you will notice in here they ask you to select two things that you will do to drive GMV to the UnBox platform. And I also want to clarify, when they say e-commerce, this is very important. They're not talking about just selling physical products. By e-commerce, they mean any commercial activity, any economic activity that will occur through their platform. So that includes, things in the payment processing space, things in the healthcare space, things in whatever, okay? Now, I also know, we know because of our conversations with them, one of their main focuses is actually driving service sales. Okay, so you want to check this box for sure. This is very, very attractive because there are 1,000 different e-commerce companies out there, but there are almost no e-commerce companies that focus specifically on the service industry at the moment. So you always want to check this box, and we will be teaching you to focus on these things. RiseNetwork will teach you to focus on these things. It'll teach your downlines to focus on this thing as well. Then you can choose any of the others, but this one, building a network or team, and e-commerce sales of my referred users. These two are very good options to go with, okay? So select either of these two and definitely select the last one. And keep in mind, this kind of changes all the time as well, okay? So whenever we receive new information on, here is what they're looking for right now, we will always update that inside RiseNetwork as well. We'll have a video in there specifically about the preferred partner program. We will always be updating that. Then you want to describe how you'll be driving volume. Here, you want to specifically note what we just discussed. I intend on using RiseNetwork to build a sizable team inside UnBox and driving e-commerce volume through the different services provided in the spaces of, and then list 3 or 4, anything out of the ones that you just saw here. So payment processing, legal and tort, healthcare, travel, gift cards for products, or e-commerce itself. Note any of them and put them there. Okay, you just need to write that out. Here, you want to select the middle option. It's a safe option. It's the best option. And that's actually what we are aiming for inside RiseNetwork. That's what we're training you for, is the middle option here. So just select that and you're good to go. If you can do a lot more than that, go for the third option, okay? But in general, you want to select the middle one. Your current website, if you have any. Now, guys, this is so important. Do not put your Facebook link here. Do not put a link to your to a website that just looks bad. Do not put a link to a one-page blog. If you don't have a good website that really represents you well, that makes it look like you've achieved something, don't put a website at all. It's an optional field. Okay, so only put one there if it's impressive. Now, if you are doing a lot of volume on eBay or Amazon, or you have a store there, you can put that store here. If you have a website with WooCommerce or something, you can put that here. If you have a lead generation page that you use and it does well, you can use there. But don't put something that will not be impressive. List your previous experience. Here, you can talk about any experience you have building other companies. You can talk about what you have done in the past on the e-commerce side. You can talk about what you have done with building teams. You can talk about lead generation you might have done. You can talk about what you've learned. If you don't have any of that experience, okay, note what it says. List previous experience or accomplishments. Now, what you should say here, if you have nothing in the past and you still want to go for this, you should say, I'm already a pre-launch member in UnBox and intend on hitting all these different targets, okay? And I'm using the Inner Circle membership with Kevin and Hitesh inside RiseNetwork to make sure that I drive at least $50,000 to $100,000. Remember, that's the thing that we've selected here, to drive $50,000 to $100,000 in my team volume first year alone, okay? That way you're not lying. We don't want you to lie about your experience. If you don't have experience, that's fine. If you don't have accomplishments, that's fine. But you do need to then say, here is how I intend on reaching the $100,000 GMV. Then depending on how your business has been set up, you can select a business name, you can select a personal name, you can select a corporation name. You choose how you want them to contact you. They can use email, they can use Skype, they can use phone. I prefer that you select all three and give them the information so that they can contact you if needed. Check this box and you can submit this. Takes anywhere between 3 to 5 days. I think sometimes they reach back to people a little bit faster, but you basically get an email from their merchant onboarding team and they will let you know if you were approved or if you declined. And once they've approved you, they will send you an invoice. You pay the invoice and you become a preferred partner. If you don't pay the invoice, you don't become a preferred partner. Easy enough. Now, one final question that I'm hoping that all of you have, if you're good, marketers, you would be thinking about this already. Do we get paid a commission on this? And the answer is yes. So if you have people that you're referring in and they're becoming preferred partners, you're actually getting that 40% commission on that as well. Because you would have received that commission if they were elite members, right? And you would have received a commission if they were the Inner Circle member. So it makes sense that you would get paid on this. This was actually one of the key points that we kind of fought for. Originally, there was no commission on this at all. This was just a preferred partner program. And we actually demanded that they add a commission because it doesn't make sense. We're not going to tell our users to go out and bring people in, have them become preferred partners so you cannot have any income, right? That doesn't make any sense. So we got that done. We got that added in. So you can do that. Finally, keep in mind something very important. There's going to be about $5,000 worth of points alone given to these preferred partners, okay? That means if they actually use that $5,000, you will be getting paid on every economic thing that they do with it. If they use that to bring people into the UnBox platform, you're going to get paid on that. If they use that on the healthcare side or the legal side, you'll get paid on that. If they use that for e-commerce, you get paid on that. There's all sorts of other stuff that you will also get paid on. This is a good thing for you to recommend, not a bad thing, okay? So hopefully all of this makes sense. Hopefully you guys kind of know now how to apply for it. If you're interested, from our side, there's zero pressure on this. This is just good for people who actually intend on going hard with this. Actually, how many of you intend on going really hard with this whole system, with the UnBox Rise combination? Okay, pretty much everybody. Well, so again, if you intend on going hard with it, it just makes a lot of sense. You save a whole lot of money. You don't have to have any subscriptions. You get a lot more in value. Makes sense for you to go with it. If not, again, like we said, this right here, this is all you have to follow. You just have to drive traffic to your RiseNetwork link. You learn that in the Inner Circle, and you suddenly start making money from all these different income sources. It's kind of nuts that you will literally have about 12 to 15 different income sources. You'll have 12 to 15 income streams, and all you do is promote this one link and nothing else. You don't have to do anything else at all. So that's about it, guys. I think we are actually reaching the end of the webinar. We've already gone a couple minutes over the hour. If you guys have any last questions, please let me know, and we will go from there.